What a night for the kid. The 18-year-old Bronson Xerri. He was 9 months old when Paul Gallen debuted against the Eels back in 2001. Gallen's out tonight, and Xerri is amongst the ends. Huge night for him, Braith.
Yeah, what an opportunity it is for him. A lot has been spoken about it. We just heard Mick Innes talking about it. He's been inside the camp of the Cronulla Sharks. Bronson Xerri on debut. So much expectations at such a young age because of what he's been able to show in the lower grades. Strong, powerful, been able to break the line. An excitement machine. And the Sharks haven't been great, but they've been good and improving with every performance. And the Parramatta Eels blocker looking for a big game tonight.
Yeah, they certainly will be. I thought it was a lesson for them last week. They've been competitive. There's Gutherson at the back. He has been sensational, along with Blake Ferguson. Already some line break assists in 6 of them, 4 tackle busts. So he's played pretty well, average of 167 metres per game. But just saying, it was a great effort by the Parramatta side last week against the Roosters. Would have been a lesson for them, only for the 60 minutes. The last 20 minutes, they were flat. It's going to be interesting to see how they recover. But this man, unbelievable, our one player can all of a sudden spark your football tide.
What a season Blake Ferguson is having. Only 3 rounds in, averaging over 200 metres a game. An immediate impact that he has had on the Parramatta Eels, and 2 wins from 3.
You know the most unbelievable thing about that? Obviously, Braith, they'd be saying everyone's game plan, let's put the ball up to Ferguson, let's try and put him under a bit of pressure. But he still manages the break tackles.
Stay on sidey, boys.
It's a Saturday night blockbuster. 2 2-1 teams, head-to-head. Parramatta against the Sharks. Away we go. Gutherson with the kickoff, and Pryor preparing to bring it back for the Sharks, who are missing Paul Gallen in their pack this evening. Ruled out through injury officially yesterday. Very inexperienced lineup for the Sharks. Here's Capewell running into the big boys, including Junior Paulo. Rayleigh is the dummy half, and Fafita is the captain of Cronulla tonight. They've won both meetings against Parramatta at this venue, the Sharks. Flanagan gets an early touch there, and the number 19 jumper, the late in for Shaun Johnson. Massive team news breaking in the hour before this game. Now Bakuya, who gets the start in the Gallen role. Decent meters here on the first set. Allows Townsend to get an attacking kick away. Gutherson camped underneath it. Confident take, but the chase was good from Capewell. Ferguson looking to eat up some early meters. And there is Shaun Johnson watching on. Quad tightness was the issue.
You just got to try and take the confidence away from Ferguson. Really get a good kick chase on him, get numbers in the tackle, and try and take a couple of yards off him. Easier said than done.
Gutherson just taps it and goes, picks up 15 metres as the Sharks were backtracking. Now Jennings. Good metres here for the Eels. Opportunity knocks already here. Marnie is their dummy half. Now Moses up the middle, he goes, and he's rocked by Bakuya and Fafita. Gutherson back inside to Paulo. Fired out by Marnie. Beautiful pass to Lane, who's been a good pickup from Manly. Now up the middle goes Alvaro. Right into Pryor. Lands on his front, looking for that quick play the ball on the last. Parramatta go left. Gutherson looks heavy initially. Dugan content to let it sail. Dead in goal for a 7-tackle set.
It was a good set from the Parramatta Eels, but not a good finish there from Gutherson. Straight off the boot. It was always going to be a little bit too long, and it's taken the pressure right off the Cronulla Sharks. 7 tackles set right now.
Here's Xerri. First touch in the NRL for the 18-year-old. He couldn't debut last year because he wasn't old enough. Didn't turn 18 until September, but here he is in the NRL, and there have been good judges saying that once he gets in this team, he's going to be mighty hard to push out of it again.
He's a big lump of a fellow too. I saw him score a try in a trial match against Manly. And he went the length of the field. Some great footwork in the try that he did score.
And they're headed his way again. Nikora, who's made a sensational start to the season. The junior Kiwi. Now Pryor, a bit of footwork himself, the big man. Playing on the 30-metre line for Townsend to go high again. Morris trying to get there. Ferguson climbs high and elected to offload to Gutherson. He was worried about being taken back into the in goal. It was good poise shown by Ferguson.
Well, it shows the confidence of Ferguson in 2019 to be able to take it, although he's come up with an error, but there will be a penalty.
10 metres,
strict.
come, Andrew. Go 10, mate.
So Ferguson come up with a nice take offload to Gutherson, then he backs it up with a hit up straight off the back of it.
Yep.
And Bakuya again involved as he looks to throw the offload there. Gutherson, nice little run. It was the next play.
It's going to be interesting for me to see how the Sharks recover. It would have been all about recovery this week after they played that game in Townsville last week. So 20 minutes into the game, we'll be able to tell. They're trying to play an up-tempo game at the moment, the Parramatta side. They've started well.
Nikora with a strong run.
There's a big spread here from Parramatta out to the left-hand side. Plenty of numbers.
They'll go that way now, surely. Via Moses. Out the back. Salmon. On to Gutherson, trying to slice them open. An early test for that right side defence. Flanagan, Sherry and company. Now to by Maroa right up the middle. Cronulla just holding on this set. Junior Paulo rampaging his way all the way over. Held up somehow by Fafita with an incredible shoulder strength.
Well, that's unbelievable too. It looked like he was flat-footed too that time. Fafita, the pass back on the inside, just trying to get their men honest back on the inside.
Got no try.
How did he make that tackle?
The ball doesn't touch
Fafita,
the ground in the
great
in goal.
strength.
Let's see if he gets it down. Initially, it looks like he gets held up. Great defence, an awesome run from Paulo. To even get in this position to have an opportunity to score the try was incredible. But Fafita, as you mentioned, Blocker, he gets underneath it. Townsend's there to help it. Does it touch the ground at all? It doesn't look like it does to me.
Good call.
He went to play the ball here because they had some momentum, Parramatta, but they've had a look and they've gone to the bunker to make sure it wasn't a try. They set up really... Their setup looks really good in attack here, Parramatta, so far.
They're not afraid to throw the ball around. Something a little bit different from a lot of the other sides in the NRL. Parramatta trying to play that up-tempo football.
I'm not sure why.
Well, they're just checking where he was flat.
Junior Paulo never grounds the ball and is tackled in the field of play. We have a decision.
So rather than go back to 10, they're trying to work out where he plays it from. It'll be 1 metre out instead of 10 metres out.
Well, he tries to play it here anyway, which would have solved all the...
It's a great advantage to the defensive side, isn't it? You get a couple of minutes break.
Without doubt.
And they needed it too. Moses,
That's a
decent-looking kick. Oh, battered dead by the Sharks. And it will restart with a dropout. They're complaining about the way that the Cronulla player Dugan was dealt with here.
Now, this is a beautiful kick from Moses, and Jennings just goes for the ball. He has all eyes for the ball. He torpedoes himself at it, as you can see here, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Geez, he spends some time on the deck, doesn't he?
Didn't he? He stayed down for
Honestly.
a while. I think he's all right, but
That'd be sweet.
he...
Well, when you land on your back like that, there was a whiplash sort of element to it.
It doesn't tickle, but I think he'll be fine.
Maybe it's the hairdo that makes it look a bit more like this whiplash going on more so than there was.
I
But
hope he only paid half for that haircut.
Oh, I wouldn't have paid anything.
an HIA assessment for the fullback playing in that role for the first time since round 12 last year. No Moylan tonight either, of course, forcing the reshuffle. Who wants it? Moses eventually on the up for Maroa.
Up together, Jaden. Wait, Chad. Lock in. Wait. Go.
Alvaro winding up. It was flat service from dummy half.
Out now. And hold. Wait. Go.
Now they go left again. They fancy their chances out there, don't they? Flat ball for Lane this time.
Let it go now, Kyle. He's 10.
The giant second rower, just shy of 2 metres tall. Now Paulo through the hands. Moses commits himself to the line, trying to put Niokore through. Cronulla's defence holding up. Moses again. Alvaro. Just the little settler. Now on the last. Moses will want it again. He's come to the right-hand side, this time the halfback. Little kick in behind. Oh, beautiful pick-up, Josh Morris, and stays in the field of play.
Yeah, that was a great take from Morris, because it was a beautiful kick again from Moses. Nearly got past Morris, but Morris defended it. Parramatta looking dangerous, both sides of the ruck. Their structure looks really, really high quality.
Well, the second in running meters in the whole NRL. Here's the replay there. It was picked up beautifully at the back there by Morris. Just save the day. A good start from Parramatta. Plenty of energy from them.
And their discipline has been the best in the NRL this season, and it needs to be at the back end of this set because it's been sensational. Look at that, all those tackles made, only just outside the 20 as we check in with Andy.
Sorry, boys, Josh Dugan has come from the field following that head knock. The doctors had a look at replays of the vision on the monitor on the sideline with the medical staff, and Dugan is spending his mandatory 15 on the sideline. So another significant reshuffle for the Sharks.
Morris going back to fullback here.
Yeah, Sorensen's come on in the number 18 jumper. Gets involved in this tackle, trying to slow Junior Paulo down. So
how good's he been early?
He has been great block.
Josh Morris trying to adjust to that fullback role at the moment, directing traffic in behind the line. Now he joins the line as Parramatta go left. Gutherson back on the angle. And Morris was there in company with Bakuya. Another try saver from Cronulla. Moses to hang it up this time. Ferguson going to get there, is he? Oh, it's a try for Niokore. Parramatta on the board first, 8 minutes in, and it was coming.
Yep. Clear with everything inside, Bud?
Yeah, start with 0, Bud.
Yes. Okay, Henry, back to 0 tackle, mate. We've got a try. Just confirm Blake Ferguson doesn't touch that in the contest.
There's going for the ball and there's pushing the ball. Have a close look, please.
Andrew.
We're looking at the contest
Sharks
here.
right side kick chasers are onside.
It's a beautiful kick again from Moses, who has been faultless to start this game. Ferguson always competes. Fecky goes for the ball. Fecky knocks it on forward.
That's right.
It's going to be play on, unless there is a hand here from Ferguson. We cannot see it from that angle. Does he touch it, Ferguson? He doesn't. It's off the knee of Fecky. Niokore will pick the ball up, and this is going to be a try.
You know what the highlight for the try for me is that they didn't panic.
Ball is knocked on from Sasai Feki, so it's playing at this stage.
It's play on. Niokore gets the try.
Murata Niokore cleanly takes possession and grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
But they've had all the football, haven't they, the Parramatta side? They haven't panicked, Braith. They don't panic. They just go back, reload, and they get over the stripe.
They look very controlled, and as we look here to see the final result, yes, it is a try. What about the run from Sevo on the other side of the field? The defence from the Cronulla Sharks to stop it was unbelievable, but the run, he just was like he was shot out of a cannon.
How dangerous are those sort of blokes back on the inside? You think the ball's gone past you, relax a little bit, and all of a sudden, here comes a semi.
Their structure, it just looks so clean. It looks so good early on, Parramatta. Everyone knows their role, whether they go left, whether they go right, and it's showing.
And Mitch Moses, 11 of 13 so far in 2019. And bringing it back just inside the upright for a 6-0 lead for the Eels.
Really curious start from Parramatta. Brad Arthur wouldn't have it any other way, leading 6 points to 0. But all week and pre-game, the focus was on the middlemen. Men like Junior Paulo and Daniel Alvaro. Their focus was to play super aggressive centred football. They wanted to physically bash, basically, the Sharks. They wanted to get into their face and not stop. They thought they could force Sharks' mistakes early. But at the moment, it's the Parramatta edges that are looking flash. Now, of course, tonight we're playing for the Johnny Manor Cup. Fred Manor, the patriarch of the family, who I've known for 15+ years and one of nature's gentlemen, hosting the family out here tonight. Still a very special night for the Manors.
Yeah, Tim Manor will get a nice reception when he gets out there off the Parramatta bench. And the number 15 jumper tonight. The club captain, Clint Gutherson, the on-field captain. Junior Paulo again. He's been giving them 30, 35-minute stints to start games. Great work rate from a big man.
Great run there,
Tim Manor watching on. Big night for him. Every time the Manor Cup is played for. Moses slices them open, pushes the pass. Somehow, Salmon held on. In amongst the couple of Sharks. Now Moses gets it again. Onto Takarangi, and he's lost it. Cronulla dodge another bullet.
You know how good he is with the ball too, Takarangi. He went into the line just deciding to try and pass the ball before he actually had it in his hands. He knew it was on. It's a good call too early in the game. Mitchell Moses gets his hands on the football. He's dangerous. How he got this ball back on the inside, I'll never know. There's someone in between there.
It was the lead-up work too, Blocker. It was the lead-up work from Niokore down the short side to get that quick play the ball that got Moses looking up with a 3-on-2. Great footwork, great speed. And off a quick play the ball, there's not many better halves in the competition than Mitchell Moses.
Loves playing on that front foot, doesn't he?
He does. They look fast. They look good.
Well, they've been starved of possession, the Sharks. Looking for a decent set here as Prime. He's held up short of the 40. He's holding on to Niokore, who scored his second NRL try to open the scoring tonight. Nice move by Nakora. So we've got Nakora on the right edge for the Sharks, Niokore on the right edge for Parramatta.
And both doing a great job.
Brayley out of dummy half, a set play that was drawn up for Morris in that fullback role, but he never got it. Now Brayley down the short side. Drops it on the boot to find touch and just settle things down for the Sharkies.
A little bit of a sign there that they might be under the pump there, the Sharkies. The grab a kick from Brayley. Deliberately kicked into touch there. Just to give them a little bit of a break. I mentioned before, their big trip to Townsville. They look a little bit flat to start this game. Parramatta on fire. They'll have a little bit of a rest now, both sides at the scrum.
So much of the focus this week has been on Bronson Xerri. I guess over the last couple of weeks it's been on Dylan Brown. Not a whole lot said about Jamin Salmon. Young guy who came through the Sharks system from memory of De La Salle. Boy, they were absolutely filthy to lose Jamin a couple of years ago. He comes in 6, and I think long term you might see Salmon and Brown as the 6 and 7 for the Parramatta Eels. Two super talented youngsters.
And he played in the same SG ball team as Flanagan, who comes into the Sharks halves tonight. But Salmon was a back rower in the underage team with the Sharks a few years back now. It's Paulo turns his back this time.
Great run again from Paulo.
Landed on his front ultimately. He's such a handful. And they thought Pryor might not have been square at marker. He got the benefit of the doubt. Gutherson into dummy half. They're picking up good meters on just about every play, aren't they, the home team? Now on the last, Moses, the dominant half so far in this game, as you'd expect. Oh, Morris, good take in that unfamiliar role. They'll be desperate for Dugan to pass that HIA. With all that's gone on this week, and all the reshuffles. Sione Katoa coming in off his wing for some work. Brayley off some second phase footy provided by Fafita. Townsend looking for touch as well. Oh, it stayed in the field of play. Somehow awkward for Ferguson. He only had one option. Well, what a ripper of a kick that is from Townsend.
Yeah, this is interesting because Ferguson's knocked it over the sideline, but he's put his foot over, and it's great awareness because the ball was still moving. Watch this. So it stops in the field of play, but because it's still moving, Ferguson puts his foot over the sideline, then taps it out. That is great awareness. Very smart from Ferguson. They'll get the scrum feed because he would have been under pressure. If he had to pick that ball up so close to the sideline, he may have got tackled over it from the Sharks' defence.
Is that a good rule, Blocker?
I don't mind it. Oh, look, these players are using their heads. I mean, that was great stuff, as Brace said, from Ferguson. It's a big advantage to the Parramatta side now.
Just when you think the ball has taken a Cronulla bounce, Blake Ferguson negates that with his smarts.
Looks like it was going to dribble
Strong run again from Sevo. Now it's Lane's turn. Averaging 113 metres in his first 3 games as an Eel, Sean Lane.
I'll tell you what, it makes a difference too if you're a ball runner to get off the back of this bloke, Junior Paulo. Next run, takes 4 of them to tackle him. Look at this run, straight after Paulo.
From Marai, just shy of halfway. Kicking out of dummy half is Marnie. And Josh Morris, plenty of running around for him right now in that fullback role. Scored a stack of tries against Parramatta down the years, 11 of them. Oh, Fecky ran into a brick wall. He scored a stack of tries against Parramatta lately as well. Sisiah Fecky, look out for him later. As Sherry comes back on the angle and breaks a tackle or two. Ooh. A little snapshot of what he's about.
That was a nice run from Sherry.
Could play the ball too. Didn't look at his good work, got up to his feet and played the ball as quick as he could.
Now Brayley. Brilliant little dart out of dummy half, and they're on the front foot at the moment, Cronulla. Flanagan. Grubbers one in behind, and Gutherson was well positioned, gives it to Sevo. Micah Sevo, that was an important tackle, really.
It's a nothing kick, that one break. There was players on the outside. They should have shifted the ball there, the Sharks.
You're right, Blocker. They had numbers, and if there was any kick on there, it's in the air. It was a grubber 2 straight to the fullback in Gutherson, and after a great set, it led Parramatta off the hook, and now look at Parramatta.
And Ferguson knew that his ball-handling arm wasn't grounded there, kept it alive. Salmon, the beneficiary, at the end of it all. Isn't Sevo playing with confidence after 2 tries last week?
He's a player.
And a losing clause against the Roosters.
When he touches the ball, the crowd rise. They're out of their seat.
Yeah, they want him to go 90, don't they?
They do. Reminds me of someone else that used to play on the wing for Parramatta.
Oh, Moses, what a night he's having! Oh, he didn't push the pass. Gutherson was inside. Now Gutho gets it. Oh, trying to hold it up for the support run. How clever is that? The soccer skills on display. And Marnie says, I reckon I've scored here.
At the goal line.
Go Sharks.
Okay. Henry. Back to 0.
It's great the way he didn't try and scoop that ball up. He put it on the toe
Confirm
there.
the ball's lost short of the goal line. And if it is lost, then I have a penalty against Matt Pryor for 10 metres.
Okay, so let's see if he... The referee says he's short, and I think he is too. There you go. He's dropped it already. He's lost control of the ball.
Reid Mahoney has lost possession of the ball. We have a decision.
So Parramatta will get the penalty.
They'll get a penalty for Pryor being offside. So he was offside after they got that quick play of the ball, the break for Moses, and here's the result. No try.
Got a penalty here, mate, for 10 metres. Matt didn't get back to the goal.
Gee, I would have liked to seen Moses get that ball back on the inside to Gutherson. That would have been a try for sure.
He nearly did, didn't he, Blocker? He nearly did. And how good did they look?
Fast,
I know it's only early. They've only scored 1 try. They look very dangerous. Moses, ominous every time he touches it.
Well, he digs into the line. We don't see many halves do that now these days.
Spot on block.
So a fresh set for Parramatta, who've been tackled more than any other team in the opposition 20 so far this year. And they've had their fair share of ball already in the red zone tonight. Paulo on the angle, and he's lost it. Cronulla are away. Towing it forward was Katoa. Can he link with someone here? Counter-attack on from the Sharks.
He can break a tackle this bloke.
He just broke about 10. That was a great run from Katoa.
Is that 3 missed tackles in one sequence against Moses? Pretty harsh. Now Brayley. Nakora. Cronulla looking to hit back. Only 6-0 down. That's a good result for them on the balance of play so far. Flanagan. Fafita getting the fend off going on Marnie, who stuck to the task. It took 4 to stop Fafita though. Townsend turns Capewell back on the angle, trying to spin his way through. Marnie affected the tackle down low. Townsend hangs it up. Sevo's tasked to negate it. Off hands Flanagan. And it remained the last handover.
Let it go.
News from the sideline, Josh Dugan has passed his HIA. He's got about another 90 seconds, I believe, and he'll be back into action right then.
Put your on.
Ferguson going nowhere on that hit up. So can Cronulla muscle up here? And a decent response after handing up all that ball early on. Repeat set after repeat set. Kenny Terapo, who got the start last week when Moroa was ruled out in the warm-up. Alvaro, what a run that is.
Not coming off their line here, the Sharks.
Alvaro has run the most metres out of anyone else on the field. He's had a strong start also.
Moses sensed an opportunity. So did Takarangi. On to Ferguson. Inside. Bounce. And all the... Right now, he looks...
Bounce Reece Marnie. He... From the talented... Start sets, he can finish them. Come up with a kick like that.
Using to go down eventually. Townsend searching. Dugan awaits instruction.
For the Sharks.
Kick from the youngster. Coach Shane, of course. The Knights.
He's had a lot of pressure on him, Flanagan, with his kicks earlier on in this game, but it's also hard to know where to kick it. Do you go to Sevo or do you go to Ferguson?
I find the Seagulls.
If you can.
Big test for the Sharks tonight. They've played the first 3 weeks with the same 17. Bronson Xerri, Scott Simonson and Kyle Flanagan filling out 18, 19 and number 20 for the year, so the biggest change for the Sharks of the season.
Gutherson looking for a quick play of the ball, just let go in the nick of time. This time it's Salmon's turn to hang it up. And Morris with his final play as the fullback tonight. The Cronulla Sharks hope, because Dugan is about to re-enter the frame. Morris can get back out to left centre.
You got to remember the reason that Josh Dugan first came over to the Cronulla Sharks was to play fullback. He gets his opportunity. Great run there from Dugan. His first run since coming back onto the field.
And he went straight into the middle and demanded the ball. Great signs. Now Townsend scored all 14 points when Cronulla got the win in round 3 against Parramatta here last year. Here's Woods, first hit up from him. Townsend again looking for touch. Ferguson keeps it in, fires it to Gutherson immediately. Great tackle, one-on-one, Brayley. Textbook stuff.
It's exactly what I was saying about Ferguson. You know he's coming. Just shows how strong he is. 3 men in the tackle there. Still battle to put him on the ground.
And they're up too early.
10 metres. No, not quick.
Not quick.
Do you know that penalty's a result of the quick play the balls here from Parramatta, fighting in the play the ball, trying to get to their feet. They're doing a lot quicker than the Sharks at the moment.
And Timmy Mena comes on the field, playing in for the Johnny Mena Cup, so it's a big night for him. And he's had a strong start to the year too, Timmy. He's run more metres than he has in a very long time to average the first 3 games.
Well, it might be his go as he's getting a little bit older. Come on, he's got a great play the ball, Timmy Mena. Just come on, let the puff go out of the Sharks early. Come on and quick play the ball from him.
Terapo with the go forward on this occasion as they use Mena as a decoy. Paulo to Moses, back on the angle, the try scorer, Niokore. Tim Mena alongside Peter Sterling, 227th game for him today, equals 6th on the all-time appearances list. Plays it now, Marnie, they got to him on the attempted pass from dummy half. It was awkward for Salmon, the bouncing ball. Moses. Another little kick in behind, hit the upright, which was the target, so credit Catewell for staying alive.
It was too good, the kick. He was aiming for the upright, Mitch, and he hit it. Takarangi had overrun the ball over this right-hand side. He had to pull out of the chase as Dugan offloads back to Morris.
Very handy offload, but he's in the wars again, Josh Dugan. Stayed down with a hip injury this time, it appears. Oh, Fecky right through.
Pass.
Support. He threw the dummy instead. Townsend was looming up. And now he takes it out of dummy half and thought he caught Gutherson not square. They haven't got a penalty yet, Cronulla. And their fans are letting the refs know about that right now.
And they haven't got Josh Dugan or Bakuya in the line. They're 2 players down. Dugan still down in back play.
In the hands of the trainer on his own 10-metre line. On the last, Townsend involved again. Fecky against Ferguson. Oh, fantastic take. And they complained about Ferguson being taken out in mid-air.
Well, that's got to be a penalty to the Parramatta side. Ferguson went up. Fecky only had eyes for his body. He checked him as he took the football in the air.
It was a big effort from Fecky to go and even attack that ball after making the break midfield and getting onto his wing and then going at the ball, but he was never going to take that. Oh, I'm okay with that, but that's play on. I don't think that's too bad.
Well, if Parramatta make a line break, you wonder what Dugan's going to be able to do. He's on one leg. 40 metres behind the Sharks line at the moment. Had the stretch for sensed an opportunity here to Moses. Great ball to Ferguson. And again, a kick from Ferguson. Dugan strolls across, wants it to go dead, and it does.
Oh, he got a bad bounce that time, Ferguson. What about the skill, full pace to be able to kick the ball back in field? They've nearly gone the length of the field then, Parramatta.
This is a great example of playing what you see in front of him by Moses. He looked up, it was the last tackle. Most halves would just kick it, but he could see the space, he played to it. Dugan, well, if that kick had been anywhere infield, Dugan wouldn't have been able to stop it. Moses was coming through. Dugan is dead set on one leg.
Absolutely is at the moment. I've just spoken to the Sharks medical staff, and what's happened, he's landed on his tailbone, basically. It's not a hip injury, it's a lower back strain, and that I think it might just be spasming a little bit at the moment because he's unable to put any real weight or generate any real power in his left leg.
Yeah, you saw where it happened there in the box. Dumped to the turf as he got that offload away, and it made for that awkward landing on the flat of his back. Here's Williams. Came on for Fafita. 8th game in the NRL for Jack.
I'd love to see the Sharks get the ball to Sherry.
Brayley goes the other way for now. Wrapped up by Terapo. Can they draw up a play for Bronson Sherry on the right-hand side? They go left instead. Decent kick from Townsend. Oh, he left it behind. Blake Ferguson holds his head in his hands, and Sasaya Fecky always scores against Parramatta. 9 in 7 now.
Well, what was he thinking there, Ferguson? The little grubber kick in and behind, just trying to bat it out of the dead ball line. You just got to ground it.
And he's onside, in your opinion? Okay.
Made a meal of it, Fergo.
On tackle 6,
He's still down on the ground, looking at the turf.
Got to try.
Just ground the footy there.
Fecky is onside.
They're all onside.
Left side kick chasers onside.
Well, he's human, Ferguson, because he just took this a bit too easy. He felt like he had it covered, and he took 3 air swings. Here's another one. 1, 2, 3. And then Fecky grounds the ball. We've got to make sure of that, but there's one swipe. He misses that one, Fergo. He goes for another one.
It's all backwards at this stage, so it's play on.
Strike 2. Strike 3. You're out. That's a try.
Braith, why don't they just ground the ball in the dead ball line?
He was too confident there, Block. He was too confident. He thought he had it covered. I agree, he should have.
It sort of bounced away from him a little bit too, didn't it? So I suppose that's why.
And Sasaya Fecky grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
They went for the other angle just to confirm the Fecky grounding. I thought it looked worse on that last angle than the previous.
Well, there's no other way to ground the ball as a winger than to just put pressure on it with your 2 hands. It's going to always look a little bit dicey in that situation. That's a try.
Well, it's the same result. If you ground the ball, it's still a line dropout, isn't it? If you knock it over the dead ball line, just take away that error, margin for error.
Well, all of a sudden, it's 6-4.
Yeah, he scored the first 2 tries last time these teams met, Sasaya Fecky. The ball always seems to bounce his way against Parramatta.
It's a good kick from Townsend, and Ferguson just thought he had it covered. He usually would. He misses the first bounce there. He had to ground that there or just kick it there or something.
Well, that's his one error for the year so far anyway. He's been sensational.
Oh, yes, he has.
What a start to the season for Chad Townsend as well. He flies under the radar as a halfback. He's run the show tonight. Found the right kicks when they needed it. They were under the pump early on. Yep. He comes up with a try assist there.
He's one of the best at game management, Chad, and that's an example. We were saying he should try and get the ball to Sherry. He took it upon himself to go down the short side and come up with the responsible play, the right play for that time. And Kyle Flanagan, prolific point scorer in the lower grades for the Sharks, gets his opportunity here in first grade.
And he will own the under-20 point scoring record in a single season for all time now. That was in 2017, 360 points, 20 tries, 140 goals. First shot in the NRL is pure. Nice. From Kyle Flanagan, a little fist pump to celebrate as he levels the scores.
It's crazy to think that it's 6-all. And the Sherry family watches on.
Yeah, Dad Darren, Mum Teresa. She was the one on the other end of the phone line when Bronson Sherry, as they went behind the scenes, the Sharks this week,
you know,
and she revealed to Mum Teresa, he revealed to Mum Teresa that he was going to make his debut. No, he was breaking down, got all emotional, and she said, "Are you crying?"
I think she might be a twin.
Great story.
The girl
Great
sitting
story.
next to her looked exactly like
I know his dad, Darren. He's been telling me about his son for a long time. And have a look at him now. What a proud moment for his dad and his mum.
And his 5,000 friends and family.
And half the stadium.
Well, that was the other question she asked during that phone conversation. Did he get some tickets? They got 50 of them in the end. In that bay on the far side. Great stuff.
Just might be the little spark that this Sharky side need. I noticed they're making a fair few metres down the middle, especially this fella, a little hooker. Made a lot of metres, Brayley.
Little brother Blake on the bench as well tonight after scoring his first try last week. They're going Sherry's way this time. Flanagan drops it on the boot instead, and it's all about game management in this first half from the Sharks. I mean, they're undermanned, but they're staying in it.
You said it, Speedy. They're undermanned, so you got to play to your strengths, and this is one of them. Flanagan, a great kicker in general field play, and we mentioned how good Chad Townsend's game management is, and they're missing some strike power. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they've got a lot of key players out. They've got Graham out, Gallen, Moylan, Townsend, Dugan's injured. It's you know, they've got a host of stars on the sideline, so you've really just got to play what's in front of you and to your strengths, and that's what the Sharks have been able to do the last 10 minutes to get themselves back in the match.
And their first-year coach played for both of these clubs, of course, as he racked up 300 games in total. What a mistake from Parramatta. It's Sevo.
We'll talk about inviting a side back into the game, especially after the Sharks were the last to score. They're about 20 metres out right in the middle of the field now. And it's put something on right now.
Blocker, it's been arguably their best two players, Sevo and Ferguson, who have had incredible starts to the year, that have come up with 2 errors that have really let the Sharks back into the match, a match at which they just weren't in it. They are now.
Flanagan to feed the scrum. Brayley goes quickly to Sherry. Evasive.
He looks dangerous. Something's going to happen around Sherry tonight. Can feel it.
Look at the legs pumping from Williams. He just kept on going. Brayley down the short side. Oh, they've knocked it on as well. Just as the try line was beckoning for Britton Nakora.
It was the wrong play. There's only 2 down the short side. They didn't even have Katoa, who was in field. They only had 2 players, Nakora and Sherry, and he still decided to go down the short side, and it was a pressure pass at the line when Salmon was all over Nakora.
Just trying to use his footwork before he caught the footy there that time. Tried to go back on the inside of Salmon. It's deflating, isn't it? Only the second tackle they make that error. Especially when they're on the attack there.
Looked like Brayley was upset with his own pass as well. Looked like he didn't really give Nakora the best opportunity to catch it.
He didn't. It was the wrong option from Brayley. He had to go left.
Work out to your right, Bucky.
Ferguson will be desperate to atone after gifting Fecky Cronulla's first try. Eventually allowed to play. Nakora. Good strength shown by Townsend and Morris to drive him backwards. Not many have done that this year. Now Mana, he was worried about his teammate going through the line. Big Kane Evans, who's out there now.
Tried to put a step on there.
Come back.
Timmy Mana.
Back up here.
Big left foot step and he slipped over block.
No tags on the boots. Probably got the plastics on.
I think it was a handy slip for fear of running behind Evans, who now gets it. Oh, forcing the offload. Referee got in the road of Moses, who improvised well. He's done that well all night, hasn't he? Playing eyes up footy, as Braith and Asta described earlier. Slow play the ball on the last for Gutherson under pressure. Oh, Dugan back from the HIA, and he spills it.
He's had an air swing. He had an absolute air swing at this, Josh Dugan. Gutherson put the kick in. It wasn't that high. It wasn't floating. It seemed like it was quite a simple take for Josh Dugan at the back, and it's gone straight through everything. Bang, clean bowled. Oh, that hurts.
It's a bit hard to recover from those head knocks early too, a little bit earlier. See a little bit of double vision. He might have seen two balls coming at him that time.
You sure he passed that test? Are we sure?
Well, we saw Jermaine Asako last week. He did pass it, and then he came and he lost the ball, and then they talked about concussion-like symptoms later on, didn't they?
Catch the one in the middle block.
Then you'd need three of them, bro. Takarangi into dummy half. Marnie now. Kane Evans, the former Rooster. Ball popped out. Knocked out by Brayley. It's play on for Marnie. Takarangi running at Woods. And they hold him up just. Tackle count restarted. Terrapa throwing the dummy. Oh, he was nearly through. There was support looming as well from Salmon. Evans keeps on having a crack. And they're ready and waiting for him.
Where's Moses?
Here he is, block. Out the back. Worried about running behind his teammate there, Takarangi. Now Morris is looking for the Munster one-on-one strip. It was a real battle, wasn't it, to hold on to the footy there. And Salmon achieved it in the end, only just. Now Mana. Keep on driving towards the uprights to Parramatta. Now can they strike off the back of it? Moses couldn't get it past the outstretched leg of Nakora. Played it brilliantly. There he is again.
That's a great run from Sherry. And good work from Nakora to trap that kick and get the Sharks back on the front foot. And really good defence too by the Sharks to hold the Parramatta Eels out again. There it is. Nice little trap.
Played well. Moses went high on him. Finished him off as well over the top. Referee getting in the ear of Moses. Williams. Flanagan. Drop punt style. Gutherson forced to watch it come over his shoulder. Thinking about using Ferguson. It was a tough pass. It was behind Fergo. Nearly another blooper for Parramatta. Interesting the way that Flanagan was slapping his way clear of the tackle on Ferguson. Brad Arthur would have found that a tough watch, wouldn't he? That pass to Ferguson. Now Gutherson. Good metres on that play. They've still got a couple up their sleeve here. Evans up over halfway. Keeps it alive too. What can they do with this second phase footy? Jennings from a standing start.
You've got to make sure when you're playing that second phase footy that you just don't throw the ball for the sake of throwing it. So the last couple of times Evans has done that. You give it to someone in a better position than yourself.
Interesting the way that Moses got that tumbling down towards Feki, the over spinner.
He didn't hit that kick well at all, Mitch, but there's an error. There's an error here from Feki.
Here we go.
It's on the ground.
And really coming from nowhere. An ordinary kick from Moses.
You right?
Just a standard run-of-the-mill hit back from Feki, who comes up with an error. Timmy Manners over the top, and he must drop it there. There it is. That's enough. That's a knock on. Feki drops it, and just heading into half-time here, there's a great opportunity for Parramatta. They've had plenty of opportunities down this end of the field, but they have struggled to convert them into points. 17 tackles in the opposition 20 metres.
I just think they've lost their way a little bit with Alvaro and Paulo off the field. Maybe they might be able to work out a way that can keep one of them on the park a bit longer.
Well, it's like if they can contain Moses, they contain points. So I think they need 7. See, they've had Brown the last few weeks. 7 needs to come up with something to take the Spiders away from Moses.
Evans running at Brayley, who gets support from the big boppers. 2 minutes to go. Could be a big part of the game right now. Niakore out the back, it must be. Takarangi untouched. Brilliant try assist from Clint Gutherson, who's racking them up in 2019, and that weight of possession eventually told.
It's a nice try, and it's a great setup again from the Parramatta Eels over on this right-hand side. And it's Mitchell Moses who starts it off. Gutherson gets involved, and finally they get their timing right on this edge. Takarangi has overrun the ball a couple of occasions this evening, but they have got it right. They've had some time, and they've executed it perfectly. Let's have a look. Moses passes the ball. Terapo out the back. Great hands from Gutherson. They had a 2-on-0 on the outside there. Ferguson unmarked outside of Takarangi. Great execution. At speed, that's high quality.
That's pretty to watch too. Gutherson, geez, he's a complete footballer now. He's improved every year, hasn't he? Look at that, over the top. Feki comes in to make the tackle. And as you said, 2 left over on the outside that time. Takarangi gets over the strike for Parramatta. They're at the better of the first half, and they deserve to be in front.
So he breaks that drought. He doesn't score too many tries. He'll play his 150th next week, and that's his 24th try in his NRL career. He's often setting up the winger outside him. Think back to Radra's season outside him all those years ago.
He's very talented, Takarangi. He's started in the back row, and he could easily go back there. He's a big guy on the edge of the ruck who's got a nice little flick pass. He can come up with a try assist. He scored one of his own, and a big opportunity here for Mitch to get his side out to a 6-point lead.
Very similar angle to a shot that he had to force Golden Point at Shark Park last year, you may remember, when Parramatta made that late charge in the last 6 or 7 minutes. And he adds the extras, 12-6 the Eels.
Well, this is what I love about the good fullbacks, and Gutherson is one of them. If he's not sniffing around the middle of the ruck waiting for tiring forwards, he's on both sides of the field. That time, 2-pass runner, the pass straight on the outside, and the Parramatta team score.
Well, I said the play before that Seaman is the man that needs to take the pressure off Moses.
Yeah.
But it was actually Gutherson who was the man, and he produced 1 try assist. He's had 11 runs already for 120 metres. This guy is everywhere. King Gutho is everywhere.
Ready to hang up here.
Not a bad nickname.
Ready?
He's dancing too. Have a look at him. He can do it all. He can do it all.
The sing-along classic is on, Braith. Everyone getting involved. That's his 5th try assist this season. And the clock stopped at 20 seconds there before the kickoff. Only time for 1 or 2 hit-ups here. That might do us. One more play, and Parramatta won't be pushing things with the 6-point buffer, or will they? They did! Ferguson got in the way. Gutherson to Takarangi. Hasn't scored in 20 games, and he nearly scored a double there. Has to go back inboard.
Numbers left.
What about the razzle-dazzle here from Parramatta? From one side to the other. Evans. Can he push the pass? He can. It's still alive for the Eels. Dropped by Terapo. The intercept thrown. Well, they don't get 4 points out of it, but they came mighty close.
Wow.
What about the adventure started with the Ferguson offload? Back on his own 20-metre line to Gutherson. Wow, what an end to the first half. Parramatta lead it, 12 points to 6. Ferguson opened the door for Cronulla in that first half, and Fecky said, thank you very much.
Sweet. Onside, boys.
And we go in the second 40. Big high kickoff down towards the captain. Manna brings it back, starting the second half on the ground. Here's Tim Manna. Sevo. Off the long run. Penny Terrapo says, who wants me? Oh, they pushed him over in the play the ball there. You see the referees letting that thing go. It looks pretty ugly.
2 refs out there, none of them seen it.
Evans, he pushes the pass quite often late in the tackle count. This time, making sure there's no offload available to him, so he plays it on the last. Moses gives the chasers a chance. Dugan advances, takes it at speed, and there's a confidence booster for the fullback.
Yeah, good to see him start off the second half like that. Josh Dugan, not a happy first half. Attacked the football that time. Gets him on the front foot there. Good run from Dugan.
He scored a try last time he played in that fullback role against the Knights, round 12 last year. Then he picked up an injury in that game as well, though. We didn't see him for a couple of months. Back on the angle. Nakora right through. And he just stumbled at a key moment there. Otherwise, he would have been able to put Townsend under the posts. Now the halfback gets it. Williams, Parramatta's defence under the pump.
Well, they're keeping an honest link on the inside. A lot of inside passes obviously think that the Parramatta side can be a little bit lazy shutting the gate. And get the first penalty of the second half, the Sharks, 10 metres out.
And their first penalty of the game, hence the ironic cheers from the Sharks faithful here at ANZ Stadium tonight. Fafita. Try-scoring hero in a grand final here, of course. Now Aaron Woods. He's trying to stand throughout the tackle, plays it for Brayley. Fafita at speed. And they muscle up again in the middle to the Eels. So the big guys have had a go. Surely it's time to try and get Sherry involved. Slow play the ball for the captain.
A bit of a crusher tackle by the look of it.
Yep, that's what he wants the referees to check out, it appears.
You all right, mate?
Yeah.
Trainers here, mate.
Yeah, just locked in at a little dangerous position there on the way down. Evans over the top.
It's unavoidable. I know it's dangerous, and
Okay, Andrew. Tackle 3, mate.
but that's really hard for Kane Evans to avoid that contact.
Wait, go. Time's on. 3.
So they go left. Townsend to Josh Morris. And they pick him up. He had to force the offload. Moses. And they're bringing it back for the penalty.
Yeah, drag
Cronulla's way.
How's that dragged out? I thought he was trying to offload the football out the back there, Morris.
Would love to have a look at this one again. Block. I thought the same. Was he still trying to play on, or was the tackle dead? Well,
Can't tell there.
he ran out anyway there, Mitch. He kept running, but he'd actually already put his foot on the sideline. But yeah, that was a close call. I'm not too sure if he was held or not, Morris, but the referees have deemed that he was. So a penalty here for Cronulla. Lots of pressure on Parra here to start the second half.
Oh, they go back the other way, and Fecky has a double against Parramatta again. Well, what happened defensively there from the tap? They forgot about Sasaya.
Well, this is a classic trick shot. You train for this all week. It's a setup, it's a set piece, and they have pulled the Parramatta players' pants down. Have a look at this. This was the strip. So you'll see Morris isn't tackled. He's still moving. He tries to throw it back in the field of play.
It's a shocking decision.
I don't quite understand that call. That's a horrible call. But let's have a look at this. Townsend throws the pass, trick shot back to the short side, back to Townsend, back to Fecky, who comes up with a try. You don't see this too often. It is come up trumps. It's a big play. It's the right play. But controversy with the play beforehand for the Sharks to even be in this position to have an opportunity to score this try.
Yeah, I reckon we'll hear a lot more about that one. But Fecky gets over the stripe. Untouched too. Ferguson had gone in field. A little second man play up the short side.
Well, given that Moses trod on the touchline anyway, they would have the ball back 15 metres out rather than 10 out. So it's no biggie, but it would have been from a scrum, I suppose, as opposed to a tap.
Yeah, you could say that, Speedy, but 10 or 15 metres in this game may have stopped that try.
Didn't he hit his first conversion attempt beautifully? Young Kyle Flanagan, 20 years of age. He signed a 2-year contract extension last December through until 2021 to level things up.
Nice.
He's looking good.
Perfect. What a night for Sasai Fecky, who wishes he could play Parramatta every week.
He's been on fire. He's had a couple of tries gifted to him. This one here we spoke about with Ferguson coming up with an error, and this was beautiful. I love this. You don't see it too often in the modern game. The trick shots, the set piece that comes off. As I said, you train for it all week. Fecky, the beneficiary, with 2 tries, 2 line breaks, and he's run for over 100 metres already. So,
and good coaching from John Morris too.
It is. Blocker, very good point.
It's gutsy from a rookie coach.
Gutherson restarts things, and Fafita's moving okay after that crusher tackle suggestion.
Well, it's typical Shark performance, isn't it? 12 all just into the second half. They love getting in the grind. They love getting you into that sort of way that they play footy. So it'll be interesting to see if the Parramatta side keep playing that open brand of football.
We've had a couple of golden point games this weekend, and we've got another tight one to close out Super Saturday. Woods put on his back. Fafita, playing ball player this time. Well, he held on, took the line on in the end. Townsend. Kicking to Sivo's wing this time. Made a mistake in that first half, but brings this one back with real purpose. Hunting around the ball was Nakora, and they're escorting him back towards his own line. The held call just stopped the momentum of Cronulla.
Now in the back play, Aaron Woods is coming off the field. Now he's got a foot injury. He's made that tackle, got up and played the footy, and straight away didn't move downfield. Now he's come off the field straight away.
So Pryor out there now for Cronulla in that change. Jennings, quiet by his standards tonight.
He's been a bit quiet all year, Jennings.
Almost an awkward initial contact there for Catewell down low on the rampaging Terapo. On the last, Moses tries to get some distance and height in it for Dugan. Plenty of room to bring it back and wind up the fullback. And he ran straight at Salmon. Inexperienced 5'8" on both sides. Bronson Sherry again, the 18-year-old, waiting for an explosive moment from him in this second half, stretching out a little bit of cramp perhaps, those first game nerves and all that goes into it.
Well, he's had to come into the middle to look for the ball. They haven't been able to get him the ball on the edge, which is what I'm really looking forward to see. Maybe it's an early ball, one-on-one with his opposing centre.
Down the short side, off the feet, rather Dugan. Tried to slip through the tackle off the inside ball. And Townsend kicked back across his body towards Ferguson, who's having a tough night defensively. Goes quickly to Gutherson. Spots a bit of space.
Well, 12 all at the moment. They need to get Paulo back out there. He was so damaging in that first 20 minutes. You've got to fight when the fight's on now. No good leaving him on till 20 minutes to go. The game could be gone.
Update on Aaron Woods back into the dressing room. Real caution shown for his right foot.
Good news for the Sharks, who can't take a trick at the moment on the injury front. No Moylan, no Gallen at the start of the game. Now no Woods. Dugan's been in the wars all night. Now Terrapone. Best field position from Parramatta in a while. Inside the 30. Moses hangs it up again. Ferguson's on the chase. It'll hit the deck. And was he taken out as Ferguson hit the deck? He's complaining and he'll get the penalty.
Yeah, Ferguson is taken out by Morris here. And it was a nice kick from Moses. The positional play from Dugan, interesting. He's been quite deep on a couple of occasions and he can't get to the ball on the full. He really should have got to this one, regardless of whether Morris got in the way of Ferguson or not. He still let the ball bounce.
Ferguson ran straight into his back.
He did. That's actually quite a... Normally they don't give that, do they, Blocker? They let that go.
Right.
He ran right off his mark. You could see what Morris was doing on that replay. It was a fantastic replay. He ran right on the angle, had a look over his shoulder to see where Ferguson was.
All do
it's
it.
A great call by the refs.
They all do it. They all do it, Speedy.
Great call. Penalty for Parramatta. What can they make of it? Salmon to Lane. Oh, caught as he tried to slip the pass away, and it's Cronulla's ball now. Empty-handed again, Parramatta.
Uncharacteristic error here from Lane, who's had a superb season too. It's been a big momentum shift here. There's no doubt that the Cronulla Sharks they're winning the possession battle and the field position battle. And this is the first time that Parramatta had been down this end of the field and had an opportunity this half, and they have just got it all wrong.
And Andy Raymond has more for us.
Yeah, Oregon Kafusi warming up for the Parramatta Eels. I don't think Junior Paulo, Daniel Alvaro or Tepai Maroa is all that far away. Either a big day on Fox League tomorrow, the Storm and the Bulldogs, and the Knights and the Dragons out. Comprehensive preview will start from 3:30 p.m. Cameron Smith just 8 points behind the great Hazem El Masri's all-time points scoring record. Ironically, the Storm play the Bulldogs tomorrow. Then we head up to Newcastle for the Knights and the Dragons. Arguably the most even match on paper so far this round. A cracking day. Don't forget, clocks tonight, daylight savings. I can't figure out if they're forward or backwards though, Blocker. Any help?
No good asking me. I think it's backwards, isn't it?
I know you get an extra hour's sleep, so do the math on that one. Cronulla right on halfway here. Townsend. Chasers aren't there, so Ferguson has plenty of time. Wright's using his fullback. Gufferson gets it back towards the 20. Well, an arm wrestle, and Cronulla like an arm wrestle. Sebo trying to break things open. Jennings in the dummy half.
Good run. Nice run from Jennings.
See, if they're to win this game, he needs to do a lot more of that, Jennings.
He does, Block.
A little bit quiet.
Likewise, brilliant run from Mana. Straining for a quick play, the ball. Oh, it wasn't even completed. What a run from Mana in the Johnny Mana Cup game. Inspirational from Timmy.
Great run.
They can't put him on the ground. He'll find his front here.
Quick play the ball. Let's go.
Terapo off the back of it on the angle. Evans finished off by Dugan as Brayley held on down low. They have made some sensational last-ditch tackles tonight, Cronulla. Now Moses kicking for the end goal. And that's a try, Jennings. He's been quiet most of the night, but he pops up for the try there after the spill from Dugan, I think, for Cronulla. And Parramatta are back in front.
And you're happy with onside? Okay. H, back to tackle 1, mate. Confirming knockback by Cronulla. And then grounded by Parramatta, starting with a try.
So Josh Dugan had just made the tackle.
Left side kick chases for Parramatta on side.
On Kane Evans, he comes across to try and defuse the kick, but it's unsuccessful. He knocks it on. Jennings reflexes, still trap. Watch this. He knocks it on. The kick's a beauty for Moses yet again. He definitely knocks this on. He sticks the right hand out here, Jennings, and
Josh
he
Dugan has
touches
lost possession of the ball.
He touches it.
Well, Kyle Flanagan didn't help him at all. I think he lost possession once he hit him over the top there.
There it is.
His own player.
Oh.
Look at that. He loses possession as he slides across. There's Flanagan.
Geez,
his own teammate.
Jennings makes this look easy.
He knows how to score a try, doesn't he?
And Michael Jennings grounds the ball. We have a decision.
140 of them now in his NRL career, and that's the easiest one when you can just put your hand on it.
Be a nice highlights tape, wouldn't it?
He's been one of the best finishers for a long time, Michael Jennings. And Blocker, we just mentioned it. He needed to get a little bit more involved. He come up with a great run out of dummy half to start that set of 6, which therefore got Mena off the back of that. Kane Evans goes through off a beautiful pass, and then he scores a try. It just shows the impact he can have on this side with his involvement.
And he chased hard too. And it's easier just to sit back there and just think, oh, well, he'll clean it up at the back here. Just the crumbs just spill out there from Dugan again at the back.
And again, Mitchell Moses, the maestro.
He's had a game, hasn't he?
He has.
And he'll make it a 6-point margin. Is he in the conversation for the Blues this year, Mitch Moses? I mean, who's playing better in the number 7 jumper this year?
Oh, listen, he's right there. He's right there. But I think he needs to show more of it. I would say up until Origin time. It's not going to be 2 or 3 performances. He needs 7. He needs 8 performances before they pick the team. For them to go away from their already 6 or 7 in Cleary and Maloney and pick someone like Mitch.
But he showed he can do it all. He can dig into the line. He's got a good kicking game. He set up a couple of tries with his kicks tonight.
And he's a runner block.
He's a runner. He's got speed.
He ran 72 metres in that first half.
I like him.
And the query has been defensively, though, hasn't it, in recent years? He's strengthened up that category as well, hasn't he?
I think he's been good. But the secret to his defence, because he's not a big bloke, is to get off the line as quick as he can. Put pressure. Make them make the decision when he's going to tackle.
Sevo out of his own red zone.
To answer your question quickly, yes, I think he's in the mix.
Evans, he's made a nice contribution off the bench for Parramatta. He's Evans, but he's lost it. And the Sharks have wonderful field position to try and hit back again. He's up over 100 metres, Kane Evans. Let himself down there, though.
Got to concentrate so hard after points, don't you? You might relax a little bit. Takes a while for the kickoff to come, and you've got to complete that next set.
Townsend had to search for it. Nakora thought he was through, and he was held back by 7. Speaking of Hales muscling up defensively, had help from Lane and Manor. Fafita rumbling his way towards the uprights. Rayleigh, Townsend, little kick in behind, a la Moses at one end. Ferguson and Morris were in a battle for the footy. And it's a line dropout, they say, on first inspection.
Yeah, beautiful kick here from Chad Townsend. Morris gets very close to grounding the ball. Ferguson comes across in defence. Townsend, he's also kicked superb tonight. And you just see, oh, that's close. Ferguson waiting until the last second to just knock it out of the way of Morris, who could have come up with an injury in the process.
Come from a long way too, Ferguson, from his wing. It was real red there by the winger.
He didn't try and ground it, Blanca, so Brad Arthur didn't ask him to do that at half-time.
He might have asked, he might have ignored him.
Fresh legs for Parramatta junior Paulo Oregon Kafusi on. They replace Tim Manor and Kane Evans.
And their first job is to aim up defensively here. Kafusi in down low on that one. Centre field for Sorensen in the number 18 jumper for Cronulla. Dugan injects himself into the line. Straining for a quick play of the ball. Eventually, now Flanagan. Townsend, oh, a little juggle, and if Parramatta get a touch on that, it's a knock-on.
Play on.
We'll go back and check it all out later because Gutherson's away, towing it forward. Now
Sherry.
The foot race. Look at Sherry. He picked him up like Usain Bolt would have. He just motored around the outside and it's play on.
Gee, run the kid.
Wow, he was in cruise control. He jogged past him. Sherry jogged past him. He wasn't even at full speed.
That's what Cronulla fans want to see going the other way. Sherry in a foot race to try and score a try, but he may have saved one there.
I'd love to see him get him some early ball here.
Have a look at this.
Look at this.
Gutherson, no slouch. He just jogs past. See you later.
Oh, to be 18.
No, I wasn't that fast when I was 18.
No, I imagine I was. I dreamt about it.
Well, Fafita pushed the pass. Marnie knocked it down, so they'll get a fresh set on halfway. Would it have been a try? Do you reckon there was a lot going on down here if Gutherson had gone the journey?
I'm not so sure. I don't think Parramatta actually wanted that result. I don't know what happened. There was a bit of a mess down this end of the field, but either way, the Cronulla Sharks, they just don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere. You know, like if you look at this game, you would think that Parramatta would be well and truly ahead, that they've dominated in most areas, but they just stick around.
It's what you've got to be careful of too when you play against the Sharks. As you mentioned, they just love hanging in. They've got the feet in the loose now, right in the halfway line.
They're comfortable, aren't they, blocking this situation? They don't panic. No. They're resilient.
Here's Sherry. A little bit of space off the back of the scrum. Nakora. What a handful he is.
He's impressive. He's impressive.
21 years of age. Fantastic future in front of Britton Nakora. Mia Kore gets involved in the tackle for Parramatta on try. Flanagan to the line. Townsend back on the angle. That man again, Nakora able to hold on as he was being tackled. Brayley out of dummy half, setting it up for Fafita. Oh, Sivo threw himself into the tackle. Now Katoa back on the angle. A little bit of space here. Surely it must open up for Cronulla. Dugan couldn't force one more pass, otherwise Parramatta were broken.
Numbers left.
Flanagan, Townsend, kick in behind, Ferguson. He collected it this time at the expense of a line dropout.
Well, they love playing the pressure game, don't they? The Sharky side, a beautiful kick in goal. Again, Ferguson put under the pump, cleans up at the back. And now we see it's the Parramatta side with hands on hips. Under the pump. Ferguson just limps back out to the wing there. What an amazing athlete he is.
What about the footwork from Katoa? I mean, here's the sprint. Here's Gutherson. Thinks he's going to score a try. He can't see anyone in front of him. Oh, well, that was... No chance. Sherry just runs straight past him.
Put him in the stall gift off the handicap of about 15 yards. He just rounded up Gutherson. He knew he didn't have anything left in the tank.
Poor Gutho, he was gone. He was gone.
Oh, Townsend throws the dummy, opens up big time, try saver, Gutherson. Ball on the deck, and Gutherson has saved Parramatta there big time.
He nearly got wrong-footed too. Townsend straight through, not the quickest bloke. Gutherson at the back, that's a wonderful tackle. He stepped away from him off his right foot. He had to dive to make the tackle. There's a show and go. Just nearly got wrong-footed. Great tackle.
Yeah, Penny Tarapo, he come way past the ball and put pressure on his inside man. I think it was Paulo, who just couldn't release and get to Townsend in time. Townsend showed great footwork. Clint Gutherson, we said he's got it all. I mean, he really does. He's the Energizer Bunny. He pops up everywhere. He's a team player. He is King Gutho, and that was a big play.
And the contribution of Reid Marnie did not go unnoticed either. He came over the top, jolted the ball free. Otherwise, Townsend was going to be able to play it, and Parramatta were on the ropes.
Yeah, I don't think Parramatta would have stopped that last year. This is the difference. Their attitude this year, in all areas. Sivo, what a run from him. Every player is doing their job to the best of their ability.
The recruitment of Lane has been a good one as well. Goes to Marnie. Didn't push the pass when it wasn't on to Paulo. Now Junior gets it. A suspect pass. The touch, he didn't see it.
I look forward.
Touchies weren't in line, to be fair. And no tackle count restart here. Sloppy from Parramatta. Gutherson had to dive on it. Now Maroa back out there in the headgear. It is the last for Marnie to fire it to his halfback. He'll find the grass ahead of Dugan. Parramatta playing with that 6-point edge as we enter the final quarter of the game.
It was smart there for Moses to keep that kick in the field of play. He looked at the sideline, but he knew that Cronulla were tired and fatiguing, so he's kept it in the field of play.
Well, they told Moroa to let Morris's leg go. He did, just for feeder. He's one of the offload kings. He found Flanagan, who gave it to Townsend. Pass behind Sherry, who got rid of Salmon, who came again.
Geez, you'd like to see him get some clean ball, wouldn't you?
He hasn't had any. He hasn't had any blocker.
Blake Brayley out there now in the number 14 jumper. And he's out the back to pick up the scraps here. Getting plenty of offloads away at the moment. The Sharks chasing the game. Flanagan working it through the hands to Katoa. Had to get it on the boot in a hurry. He was wiped out by Sivo, and he's asking whether that was a shoulder charge. Here's Sione Katoa. There's nothing doing them.
No, I think it was fine. There wasn't much room there for Sivo to pull that hit off on Katoa. Simultaneous as he kicked it.
Here's another look at it.
Yeah, he can't pull out of that. He's committed, Sivo.
Just need that one more try, don't they, the Eels? They won't go away, the Sharks.
They're winning the field position battle at the moment, though, Cronulla, aren't they? Moses has to go underground, and that's a very effective kick at this stage of the game for the Eels.
He's in full control, Mitch, because the kick beforehand, he realised that his side was full of momentum and the opposition, Cronulla, were tired. But on this occasion, his side's tired and they need a breather, so he knows the best option is to kick it out. Really smart play from Mitchell Moses, who has shown a lot of maturity this season after being under huge pressure in 2018. Corey Norman moving on, his halves partner, to go to the Dragons, and a lot of responsibility over the preseason for Mitchell to deliver for a side that was really underwhelming last year, and so far he has.
Good game
tonight, impressive.
Good game management from Mitch Moses. Still no sign of Aaron Woods, who remains in the dressing room. He will not be back. And a quick shout out to one of the great Eels clubmen who's doing it a little bit tough. I know he's watching Fox League in hospital tonight. To the great Dennis Anderson, the king of the dressing room door. Doing it tough. Fight hard, mate. We're all with you.
Parramatta's discipline has been fantastic tonight and so far in 2019. Brad Arthur was filthy on their discipline on multiple occasions last year. They've only given up 2 penalties so far in this game and an average of 4 going into tonight. Oh! Right over the top. Sorensen felt that one. Paulo and Moroa ironed him out. Somehow he got a relatively quick play the ball though. And now the ball is jolted free, but it was a high tackle. Is that the call on Takarangi? What about
Don't
this
kick
hit?
it away, Reed.
Well, great tackle from Moses. He loses his balance, and Paulo comes up with a big shot on Sorensen. But he did get a quick play the ball off the back of it. They look to have knocked it on, but there's a penalty.
Time's off.
They're having a boardroom meeting now, the Sharks, to see what they're going to do.
Well, they may as well. They've got some time here. They've been under the pump block, so... Still...
It was a one-on-one tackle, wasn't it, Takarangi? Yeah. So when the ball came loose, you thought
that's right.
It was a mistake, but I think they suggested it was a high shot. Tough to work out what was going on there, but Cronulla will take it.
Oregon! Here we are!
Rayling goes to Flanagan, to feeder. Dugan just had to search for possession. Taken. Seesaw battle tonight. Townsend. Crossfield he goes to link with Capewell. Takarangi, hands on the footy again, little risky. Sorensen. Got plenty of footy last year. Did Sorensen when Lewis was battling his injury problems. Likewise, Wade Graham, of course. Fancy no Lewis, no Graham, no Gallen tonight. That regular back row in recent years. Oh, great pick-up. Flanagan on the half volley. Morris was the target. It bounces all the way through to Ferguson, trying to go the other way. Quick play the ball. Gutherson sensing an opportunity where they back the 10, say the Eels fans.
It's a good reply too. That kick in the in-goal area. Ferguson makes it yards upfield, then Gutherson. They're on their 40 now. That's great recovery here from Parramatta.
There's a hit up from your man block. Junior Paulo. Lane. A step off the left. Alongside him was Oregon Kafusi. They get to the last again. They want to get it in the hands with their number 7. This one is tumbling and floating, and Fecky didn't want a bar of it. Nor did Dugan, content to let it bounce.
Well, it's the third kick now that Dugan's let bounce, and he hasn't got 2 on the full. Very dangerous. Don't want to do that too often.
Townsend a little out of sync with Fecky on that occasion, so they didn't gain too much on that play. Sherry. Parramatta really muscling up here, trying to regain the ascendancy field position-wise. Good strong run by Fecky. He got his hands on it that time. Townsend. Back on the angle. Nakora, who's threatened to bust this game open a few times tonight. Flanagan to kick this time.
Middle needs 10.
Plenty of room for Gutherson. One-on-one tackle affected by Chad Townsend.
Yeah, both sides looking tired here. And Sevo hits it up. Now, I truly believe that if Parramatta get into good field position, 7 points, a field goal could be enough. It's hard to see Cronulla scoring twice at this stage.
Daniel Alvaro back on for Oregon Kafusi.
This happened to them last week, the Parramatta side, the last 20 minutes. It was the big telling tale against the Roosters. They played so well. They've got to find something here. A little bit of spark somewhere.
Taparangi.
Nice feet.
It's great handling on the previous play by Salmon, wasn't it? As he was tackled as he got it. Now Moses. Into the corner it goes, and it'll find touch again.
Beautiful kick. Beautiful kick. Exactly what his side needed. He gives them a breather. Good field position. They run 100 metres. Perfect finish.
And you talked about taking the 1. Is that something the playmakers are assessing themselves, or does Brad Arthur get that message out now?
Oh, listen, I think the players have really got to have a feel for the game. In this situation, there's still over 10 minutes to go. He was 40 metres out. If he misses, it's a 7-tackle set. So you've got to be in good position to take the shot. And realistically, you know, probably another 2 or 3 minutes away from probably executing a field goal or thinking about it. But I think it'd be in the back of his mind right now.
Well, if you're a big bopper, the halves generally tell you where to get on the field,
right.
mate. Get me somewhere. Get me up the field. Get me in position.
What can Cronulla do here? Morris, as they try and flip the field a little, get into try-scoring position themselves. Katoa with nowhere to go. One-hand scoop from Braylon. Oh, another solid hit, but they flip it out the back, and second phase footy hit.
That's where they're dangerous for Fuda with those little balls out the back.
And they're rolling now. Inside ball for Dugan.
Couple of good carries from Dugan. And a slow play the ball doesn't help anyone.
And he's looked so sore all night since that early back slam.
Especially your teammates and the bloke who's going to run the ball the next. You've got to struggle to get to your feet, no matter what.
Townsend.
Well, look, that just killed the whole momentum. That one slow play the ball killed the whole momentum of that set. He mustn't be 100%.
No, he's requiring more treatment in back play now. So if Parramatta can get through the first line, Dugan will struggle to contain them.
Well, that's what a good teammate is, doing a quick play the ball no matter what. Whether you're injured, your arm's hanging off or whatever.
Can Parramatta get that roll on? Good in the field goal range. It might be on their minds now. 2 more strong runs. Moses goes to Ferguson, who's had a tough night, but he goes inboard to Jennings, and they're going to be tough to run down now, Parramatta.
Good, Liam. Good mate.
Who needs a field goal when he can come up with a try? And Jennings comes up with his second of the night off the back of the maestro, the conductor, the dominant half, Mitchell Moses, with a special short side play off a quick play the ball. And the Parramatta Eels, they've looked so good in attack. Down the short side, Marnie, he sees the numbers, he looks up, eyes up footy from Mitchell Moses, a classy play down the short side to Ferguson, who throws the pass back inside to Jennings. What a try.
Well, the great halfbacks, they choose where the numbers are. They were caught out that it was capable of got his back caught, just running out. Ferguson gets the football. It's a perfectly timed pass from Moses, and then a beautiful pass back on the inside from Ferguson. And Jennings gets over the stripe.
4 tries.
Clever play.
Already this season, a double in round 1 against his old team, the Panthers, and another double against the Sharks tonight. 30 in total in his stellar career. Hasn't he had some moments at this stadium?
He certainly has. He's been a classy player, one of the best outside backs in the competition for a long period of time. And after a tough season last year, all of these guys are resurrecting their careers.
And Moses now has 15 out of 17 with the boot in 2019. It's looking rosy for the Eels, Andy Raymond.
Yeah, it is. Now, an insight into a different aspect of footy. The addition of Junior Paulo and Sean Lane and the improved form of Kane Evans to this Eels pack changes the dynamic dramatically. For several years, the body type and the body shape of the Eels forwards has been near identical from player to player. These 3 guys offer a genuine point of difference. For no other reason, a very different body shape. An aspect in roster management that many coaches in the top grade are absolutely big on and very crucial.
Okay, we've got escorts here as well.
I think there's got to be some credit given to the forwards from Parramatta and the turnaround through the middle third of the field, where they get those quick play the balls. I mean, a lot's been said about Sevo. It's a short kick-off here for Cronulla. Can they get it back? They can't.
And look who picks up the scraps. It's that man Moses.
It is.
But have some gully end points coming his way.
But like I was saying, Speedy, they're outside backs. We've spoken about Sevo and Ferguson, who get those quick play the balls and power through the middle, but their forwards have gone to another level. Paulo, the first 20 minutes of this game was unstoppable, didn't he? Wasn't he, Block?
Oh, he was unbelievable. And even now, his second stint is just as good.
And then it makes it easy for Marnie and Moses to weave their magic. Gutherson off the back. Look at this run through the middle of the ruck.
Brilliant from Maroa. So Paulo's up over 100 metres now. Gutherson out of dummy half, trying to bust them. Salmon, and he's lost it. They give it back to Cronulla where they want to give it back to them on their own 10-metre line.
Kick that away.
That was an example. That set of 6 was a classic example of what we were just talking about. Quick play the balls through the middle. Maroa has a hit up, gets a quick play the ball. Gutherson's there off the back of it and nearly comes up with a try.
The eyes were lighting up for Jamin Salmon, who was thinking he might have his first try in the NRL here as Gutherson busted them. He was also running into Dugan, wasn't he?
Dugan had him. He had him covered.
So the Sharks have got to score 2 converted tries down the stretch. Sherry. I think back to last year between these 2 teams. Parramatta were down 22 points to 4 with 6 minutes to go and nearly forced golden point.
Boys, just an update. It appears at this stage, although not confirmed, that potentially a broken foot, a broken bone in the foot for Aaron Woods. Still in the dressing room too.
Wishing well on that front as Dugan chimes in. Important tackle made by Salmon. He's done his job defensively tonight. As the young half, the former Sharks junior. Townsend puts it high. The lottery of the bomb. Ferguson, good take. Took off and ensured he couldn't be wiped out in midair.
Terapo just coming back on the field too for the Parramatta side. I think he's been outstanding too off the bench. He's got off the back fence. He's run so hard in that middle of the ruck when they've needed something. He'll finish the game off here.
More metres for Ferguson. He's up over 200 today, so he's going to boost his average through 4 rounds after this effort tonight.
Yeah, Ferguson over 200. Sevo close. He's just hit the 180s. Gutherson's run for 210 metres.
Did we give him those run metres when he was soccering the ball along, did we?
You know what? They don't give those men.
So, imagine if he collected it. And of course, Sherry ran him down in one of the moments of the night. Time ticking away from Cronulla, who've got back-to-back home games coming up. Tough schedule for them. The Roosters and then the Panthers at home. All these injury concerns, a few headaches for their rookie coach, John Morris, at the moment.
Yeah, they've got a lot of injuries, and even with Aaron Woods going off, so much star power on the bench. On the sideline, sorry. Graham, Gallen, Moylan, Townsend.
Well, Gal will be back next week. I was talking to him before the game, so just a little bit of a rib injury to himself. So one good thing for the Sharks, he'll be back next week, Gallen, on home soil. Considering the players they've got out, it's still been a very gallant performance here tonight.
And handy to bank those early wins as well. First time they've been 2-1 going into round 4 since 2013, so it gives them a bit of a head start on recent years. No chance of a 40-20, although it's taken a Cronulla bounce there, and Sevo will be forced to track it down as we check in with Andy.
Boys, what a way for Parramatta to farewell ANZ Stadium. This is their last official home game here at the former home of Olympics. They're moving to their purpose-built stadium back out of Parramatta starting on Easter Monday. And obviously the new year, the new stadiums and a whole generation of emerging new talent. Experience the new era and get your NRL Telstra Premiership tickets today from nrl.com/tickets as the Eels continue.
You can't get a ticket for that one anymore, though. It's sold out, a long way out. Parramatta against the West Tigers on that Monday afternoon. And if you haven't got a ticket already, the only place you can watch it is Fox League. What a day that's going to be. Jennings back on the angle, and what a stadium it's going to be for broadcasters, for fans, for players.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
As Marnie finds touch.
He's a good player, Marnie. Winds the clock down. The little dummy half has kicked there. Found touch. Just that little bit of speed out of dummy half. I reckon that's helped Parramatta a little bit too.
He's been an important piece of the puzzle, hasn't he, Blocker?
He can raise his bat tonight as well. He's made 50 tackles.
There you go. 50 tackles and still coming up with quality in attack. That's a sign of a really good number 9.
Shot clock continues, Parramatta. Everyone's here. Shot clock is off. Stay down. Wait, Petty. Don't push to the ball.
Tough for the Sharks with Sean Johnson being ruled out before the game too. We haven't mentioned that too often throughout the call, but that's got to have rocked them. When they had opportunities to score early on in the match, with Sean Johnson in that side, could have been a little different.
And I was looking forward to him to run the football without Moylan in the team. So important with the structure and everything that the Sharks do. Johnson plays. I was looking forward to him running the ball.
Chancing their arm here, the Sharks. These youngsters who have learned so much tonight, Sherry, Flanagan and co. Here is Flanagan going to Bakuya. Started in the Gallen role tonight, did Jason Bakuya. Inside the final 30 seconds of our Super Saturday. Oh, great read. Penny Terapo, but he didn't. He did complete the tackle, they say.
Tackle
on Sorensen. Down the shorter side. Townsend hangs it up. Still a bouncing ball alive, and Takarangi knows how to bat it dead.
Yep.
And that'll do us. They're a new look team in 2019, the Parramatta Eels, and they're going to improve to 3-1 after seeing off the Cronulla Sharks
you're on the clock,
on this Saturday night.
Just remember, it's on the boot, not on my whistle.
Clock stops on the 00s.
Junior was the last one.
There's one more play
Onside.
here.
No, it's different of a drop out, mate.
On your boot. Onside.
What are Cronulla going to do? Well, Dugan and Fafita got in a muddle, so the dropout travels 62 metres in the end. Fafita thinking about an offload. There's no one behind you, Andrew. Oh, he eventually got someone behind him, Dugan. Now Sherry, who's had no open field to explore all night
Hands out,
in his NRL debut. Now clock was a little out of whack, so there's 7 seconds to go now. They're counting it down at ANZ. Fecky, 2 tries tonight. Cronulla's only tries. Brayley. Nikora. Sherry. On debut. Thought for a moment he might slice them open. But Parramatta do close out victory. Their 3rd out of 4 to start the season. Jennings, the veteran, with a double. And onwards and upwards for the Eels, who've knocked off Penrith, the Dogs, and Cronulla so far in 2019. Full time at ANZ Stadium as the Eels say farewell to their makeshift home venue. 24 points to 12 over the Sharks.